Hi, I'm Sarah, and I will be telling you a story from my ongoing series called Travel Stories My Parents Will Never Hear. And that's because if they heard these stories, they'll realize I have no survival skills, no street smarts, and I have no business being out in this world like this. So, my first story is called Stranded in Jindo. And a little backstory: I lived in Korea for about 2 years. It was my first big girl job out of university. It was my first time living alone, and as was the case for my coworker Chelsea. So we became fast friends and travel buddies. And this is really where we went wrong because we were both terrible planners. We are 1 month in. We have 2 Korean classes in our belts between us, both taken by me. And we decide it is time. We want to go out and venture, and we come across the sea parting festival that's happening in Jindo. The sea will part between these 2 islands, allowing people to walk back and forth between. There's some folklore surrounding it, and we thought it was just so magical we had to be included. So we decided we would try getting there after work because it was going to happen on a Friday and there's no way out of work. We take a couple of buses to get there, and as we're arriving on that last bus that takes us from the city of Jindo to the festival, our first tragedy strikes, and that is we realize that the festival is over. The booths are being taken down, the stage is being taken down, the sea cannot be seen anymore. We are in pitch darkness except for the festival lights. Because we are in the Korean countryside, we are so far away from the city, and we decide we'll just turn back. We'll get on the bus, we'll go back to the city, we'll find a place to eat, place to stay, and we'll call it quits when we go home. Except the second tragedy. The buses had stopped running. We hadn't thought about the buses stopping running. We had only thought of fun. The bus that we had been on was the last bus of the day, and we were effectively stranded in the Korean countryside. We only had 2 plans between us, and that one was to walk along the coastline, reach the mainland by morning, we'll catch a bus from there, or call a taxi. We didn't know how, but we decided that was probably the best plan, so we did that. We were trying to figure out how to call a taxi. We had walked back to the bus stop, which was a ways from the festival and closer to the main road, but there weren't really any lighting there, so it was also covered in darkness. And that's when the third tragedy strikes. A man sits next to us at the bus stop. Now, I'm sure this man was harmless. He was just probably wanting to have a conversation or catch a taxi, try to get back to the city. But we weren't having it. We were 2 girls stranded in the country and stranded in a different country. And all that was blaring through our brains was stranger danger. We huddled close to each other. We tried to avoid eye contact, and we're just furiously typing on our phones, trying to figure out how we can get a taxi here. But thankfully, like the heavens parting, a taxi comes towards us, towards the main road. And we gun it. We start running as fast as we can, trying to hail it down. And we see that there's someone in there already. So we thought this was all for naught. This person wasn't going to stop for us. The taxi was taken. And also we see that the man is running with us. Thankfully, a little lady rolls down her window. She looks at us. She looks at the man. She looks back at us, gives us a second thought, and says, "Come over here," in broken English. She tells us that we can take the taxi back with her, and she effectively saves our lives. So the lesson of this story is plan. That's it. Thank you so much. Bye.